looking forward to joining Rob and David on the CEC in July. I am here, though, only speaking really for myself. I've had a lot of conversations with other parents in the community, and particularly at PS9, and I feel like I'm reflecting a lot of their concerns, but I do want to make clear that tonight I'm just talking about my own story. And I did also want to, before I get started, thank all the, I guess Joanne left, but all the representatives from our elected offices and also from the SCA and the state CEC and the community board. I've been a resident of Prospect Heights for, I guess, about 7 years now. We moved when my daughter was 11 months old, and she is now in 2nd grade. And I'm going to try to keep myself to 3 main points tonight, but I do look forward to the opportunity to submitting a more in-depth comment that's going to kind of expand upon some of these points with a little bit more data. We've been collecting data around middle schools for a very long time. Those of you who have been around in the neighborhood for the last 4 or 5 years will probably aware of the co-location battle and PS9's request to expand to a K-8 school. The result of that was we were co-located with a charter school, and we did not get to expand to 8th grade. I'm prefacing with that comment because, we've had discussions now as a parent group since then about what we would like to see for middle school. I think other speakers have already acknowledged the state of our middle schools in District 13 is really, I speak respectfully of all the work that's going on in those schools, but we are very, very underserved. And in particular, the students who are not at the K-8 schools are very underserved because we don't really have access to those seats. And unfortunately, there just hasn't been a lot of development at the other middle schools. They're experiencing declining enrollment. Many of them are on or have been identified for improvement plans and things of that nature. But in our conversations, there's been some discussion about, what happens when you have a K-8 school. And what we all decided, generally speaking, there wasn't a vote, but the consensus was we don't want to see, what we feel happening to us happen to other elementary schools in the district. That includes some very fine elementary schools, PS11, PS20, PS133, PS56, and a number of other elementary schools that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting parents from. These are all parents who really want the best of the opportunities for their kids, and it's just not being provided for us. So my spirit, the comments tonight are in the spirit of sort of yes and. We need a new school. The capacity projections show that we need a new school. I understand that there are going to be a lot of other people tonight maybe talking about the specifics of the site, and I think generally speaking we agree that it's, maybe we wouldn't pick it as the first site if we, had our pick, but we don't have a middle school in Prospect Heights for District 13 parents, and so we, very much support the idea of having a middle school in our neighborhood that would be accessible to the greater District 13 community as well. And I'll let the people who are more familiar with the issues around the site sort of talk about how to plan around various difficulties that presents. But that leads me to my second comment, which is it's really echoing what Assemblymember Simon said, which is we have a tremendous opportunity here in terms of the building, but also in terms of the community discussion that is happening in District 13, in this neighborhood, but not only in this neighborhood, in the more western part of the neighborhood where they're also experiencing development, have some new capacity coming online, have overcrowding, maybe don't have the same exact middle school issues, but have issues with the appropriate allocation of the capacity that we have. And so I would just urge all the representatives who are here, all the agencies that are here, to take this opportunity to really engage in some innovative, community collaborative efforts to get a school that really reflects what the community needs. I have my own perspective on what the community needs the most, and I think that would be echoed by a large number of parents in District 13, not only in Prospect Heights. But there really needs to be a process that intakes all of that input. And we've already seen in other districts that they have done innovative things with new building capacity that attempts to balance issues of overcrowding with issues of providing increased educational quality through capacity, and also respects the need for diversity in our schools and for not dividing communities when there's no need to, and is in fact antithetical to the goal of public education. So the last point that I did want to make is, other people have talked about, there needing to be an eye towards farther in the future when we need even more capacity, and I agree with that. In the short term or the middle term, we have to look to prioritize with the capacity that we have. And the way to prioritize is, you just got to look at what the highest needs are at the moment. And I would echo the other speakers who said that need is clearly middle school. I don't want to get too into the weeds for people who aren't familiar with it, but as I said before, we are way underserved. The structure of middle school access in District 13 is completely inappropriate. Much of that can't be reversed at this point, and all you can do is look to the future and try to do the best you can with the opportunities that are in front of you. We look, though, right across Flatbush Avenue, where there are several mid to large capacity middle schools. They are maybe not ideally diverse, but they are very diverse. They are high achieving, and they are schools that parents can rely on. And they are schools that other schools can look at and model themselves after. And unfortunately, we just don't have that in this district. But we could. Parents are ready to do it. Parents are ready to roll up their sleeves with the support of our elected officials, with the support of the community. And it can be done, and it should be done. And I think the last piece I wanted to say is, I don't think that necessarily needs to be exclusive. One thing I would point out, though, is that there's already a brand new elementary school that houses District 13 students about a 5-minute walk away from the Atlantic Yards development, and in particular from this proposed site. Thank you.